Hello, everyone. Welcome. I can see people logging on. Welcome to the show. Okay. Welcome to the Actions to Wealth market analysis. Today is Sunday, the 5th of March. My name is Lenka Taylor, and I'm going to be going through 5 currency pairs that I'm looking at for some trade setups. And I'll be looking at the correlation matrix and how I will be using that to take trades coming up. So let me share my screen. Try this one. All right, just open that and move this along. I'm just gonna move this window out of the way so I can see. Okay, so to start with, I am looking at Euro AUD, and this is the daily chart. And on this currency pair, I'm going to be looking for short opportunities. Not because of the trend, but because of being in the range or potentially being in the range. So let's have a look. This is the monthly chart. And on the monthly chart, I can see that we've been in a range for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months within this range. Currently, this bar here that you can't quite see is at the top of the range. So it's just forming. This is the current month. Obviously, that is not a closed bar, so I can't use that to count towards the actual month in the range, but it is at the top of the range where it's been hanging around for a little while. When I go down to the weekly time frame, here I can see that you know, the price has been going within that range, a little bit above, back into the range below, and now hanging around in that range. Weekly bar is a high test bar. However, it is not quite in the range yet, but that's okay. We will wait for confirmation. So what I will be looking for is some more price action within that range at the top to then look for a short opportunity. Going down further to the daily time frame, here I can see that we've had a couple of closed bars, that's daily bars above that previous range. But we did not have a push off or anything. So this could potentially be a false break. So what I want to see here is this actually going to be a false break? And if it is, then I'm going to wait for the price action to be underneath within my range. And I'm going to look for some kind of pushback from the top of the range, which would be probably in the form of a lower high. And if that type of setup would occur, then I would be looking for short opportunities there. So let me just see if I can. So what I'm looking for is price action to close back below and then push back to back into the top of that range. Possibly it could even have like a pin bar there at that point. And then I would be looking for short opportunities. So I need to see some price action underneath first. Okay, and then that would then be looking at trading a range. So I'm looking at this as a range, not as a trend. Okay, so now Euro AUD is usually negatively correlated with AUD USD. Now, let me just show you the correlation matrix in case you don't know. So this is what a correlation matrix looks like. I go in there and I select the currency pairs that I'm looking at, and then I refresh the table. And in here, I'm going to just look at the daily for now. So on a daily time frame, if I look at euro, here's euro AUD, in relation to AUD USD, the number here is negative, therefore it's colored in red, minus 86. So it means it's a high level of negative correlation, which means that if euro AUD goes one way, it's likely that AUD USD would go in the opposite direction. So if we are looking at euro AUD going short, then we would be at the same time or on the same day looking at euro USD going long. And this is what I'm going to be using for as part of the next bit of analysis. So you'll see what that then is going to look like. So in terms of Aussie USD, now, in terms of the relation with the correlation, if I'm looking for euro AUD short, as I said before, it's likely that AUD is going to go long. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at short. So it will be like taking a hedge trade on these two currency pairs. Maybe one of those currency pair setups will not happen, and therefore I will just enter one. And that's, usually what happens. So one of them will work out and one of them will not. Either it will not be triggered in, or it's going to go into loss. And in the other one should be, in that case, a profit if it goes in the, if you take those trades in both the same direction. So why is that? Why am I looking at this? Okay, so on the monthly, the Aussie has been going down, and really I want to be trading this short. However, the price action at the moment is at the bottom of that range where it has been for the past couple of bars, right? So this is a monthly chart, so each bar is like a whole month worth of data. So for 3 months, it's been in that range. I like to trade it from the top, but it's not at the top. So is it likely to go to the top first, or is it going to go short? We do have a big negative bar here, which is a big decisive bar, but I can't just rely on that to go short. So I want some more confirmation. So I'm looking at the weekly time frame now, and I'm within that channel, and I'm looking at, okay, is the price just going to go short from here, which obviously I don't want because I don't have any way to enter it. I want that price to go higher and give me some kind of lower high, maybe retest the monthly pivot or something like that. And then I want to take it short because I would want to see that I can take some partial profit before coming to this level again. So I'm looking for the price action to go a little bit higher before I can take the trade with some profits already being banked before getting to this level, just in case it starts to range in that area. So I don't want to be caught out. So now looking at the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, actually just note that all the EMAs on the monthly and weekly are now pointing down. Therefore, it's confirming that short direction in terms of the trend. Okay, so this currency pair, I'm using a trend strategy as opposed to the Euro AUD, which I use the ranging strategy. So here, because I'm looking for short opportunities, I'm looking for this price to go up at first. So if that's to happen, I would then see some candles going up, maybe retesting that level of monthly pivot, which will stay the same because we're just at the beginning of the month. And then I would be looking at short. Possibly there could be a false break and retest here as well. Therefore, I would be looking for the short after that. Or we could have just like a pin bar or something like that, like this. And then I would be looking for short there. Okay, so both I'm looking for different short setups in terms of the candlestick patterns. Okay, now when is a good time to be looking at Euro AUD and AUD USD? So that comes down to news, and there is high news coming up. So looking at Forex Factory, this is the news that's coming up for the week ahead. And here I'm looking at, okay, what is likely going to move the market? And I can see that on Tuesday at, well, that's 2:30 my time, whatever time that is at your location, you can set that up here in those preferences. I'm looking at AUD cash rate. Okay, that's high impact news and RBN statement, which are likely to move the market. After that, we have Wednesday. It's probably not that exciting, and nothing for Euro. So the main time that I would be looking for the setup is at this time here. This is my time. I'm in Sydney, Australia. Okay, so whatever time that is, and day, it should probably be the same day, but different time in your time zone. So check Forex Factory. And what I would then be looking at is that at around that time, the price action here should have developed into that type of setup that I'm looking for. And then I would be looking to enter the trades. If the setup is there for both currencies, I would enter that trade in the same direction for both currencies if the setup's there. If the setup's not there, then I'll just take the one that obviously makes sense. So for example, if the Euro AUD just keeps going and there's no looking like it's going to come back, maybe it comes back, but just retests and keeps going, then obviously I'm not trading that. That just keeps going. Goodbye, thank you, and not my trade. Okay. If I go on to AUD USD, let me just delete that. So here the same. I'm looking for the setup. If I get the setup that I want, then I'm going to be trading it short. If it does keep going, say all the way to the, to the top of that channel or to the top of the horizontal line, then obviously, I'm not going to get into that trade, and that's okay. But out of the two, because normally they're inversely correlated, one of those should probably set up. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at there. Now, similarly, I have USD CAD and Euro USD. Okay, USD CAD is negatively correlated with Euro USD CAD. So let's have a look at those. So on the monthly chart, USD CAD, I am at the top of what looks like a range since, what is it here? 2014, right? And it's at the top of the range. So I'm looking for short opportunities if the price goes underneath retests, and then I'm obviously looking to go to the bottom of the range there. So let's have a look on the weekly. So the weekly, let's see. Yeah, I'm just looking at price action to go below and retest there. And daily, we have the most recent trend line is here in the blue. So what I'm looking at currently, the price is above, and I'm treating that as a setup, potential setup for a false break, because that would be great for my trade setup that I would be looking at inside the range and to go short. So in terms of a false break, what I would be looking at in terms of the price range is the price to go, you know, maybe sideways for a bit more, but underneath this, back underneath that trend line, come back and retest that level, maybe retest that horizontal level as well with some kind of reversal, and then looking for short opportunities. So that's the type of setup that I'm looking for on a USD CAD. Okay, so that's on the daily. Let's have a look at Euro USD. Now, Euro USD, I'm looking for the same. Now, being inversely correlated, one will go in the opposite direction to the other. So if I'm looking at for both of them to be short, one of them is likely not going to work out. Okay, now at this stage, I don't know which one. So here we go. This is the monthly chart on Euro USD, and Euro USD here I'm looking at going still with the trend, also testing from underneath of where the previous level of resistance, sorry, previous level of support was. So here we had level of support, support, support. We broke through, and now we're retesting that area. So if we have that price action going back in the opposite direction with the retest, then that is retesting, and that will become then a level of resistance. And now here, this bar is a decisive bar, which I like. So if I make that a bit bigger, you can see that it went above the previous bar and then just basically reversed and closed really low monthly. So the last bar is still in progress. That is not a closed bar, so I'm not using that for my analysis at the moment. So weekly, let's have a look at the weekly. So we had price go above with a reversal, with the price coming back underneath into that, you know, what was before the little price go down and up. So now looking at this to be a level of retest, and looking at that as a false break. And what am I looking for here? So here we already have the price underneath the previous, the top of the channel, or top of the range. And we also have the monthly pivot. So I'm looking for some price either to go still a bit further down or just go sideways, possibly come back above again with some kind of reversal, and then looking to go back and looking for that short opportunity there. So that's weekly and daily. On the daily, we can see that the latest trend line, where it was going up previously, has now been broken through. So we're really just waiting for the retest. So the retest at either monthly pivot at the top of that channel, or actual this trend line. So there's three spots where we can have either basically push off that retest. We can have a false break and then retest underneath again, then looking for short opportunities. So again, I'm looking at those two currency pairs to trade them simultaneously and see which setup actually plays out, I'm expecting that one will and the other one won't, because they're negatively correlated. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, and the last currency pair that I will be looking at this week is Euro JPY. Oh, actually, just sorry about the Euro USD. Just wanted to have a look at the timing. Let me just. So here is the correlation: Euro USD against USD CAD. Okay, so again, negatively correlated. And in terms of the news, where do we have the news? So we have some US news coming up Wednesday. Then we have non-farm payroll on Thursday morning, my time. And yeah, there's more high impact news on the Thursday. So I would be looking at this type of setup, potentially playing out around that time. It's the other one, Euro. There's no news for Euro. And CAD. CAD also has high impact news on Thursday and Saturday. But I'm not going to be trading Saturday. That's too late for me. So I'm just looking at either Thursday, pretty much Thursday for that pair. Okay. Let me just have a look. Back to the charts. Okay, that is the Euro JPY now. So this is the last currency pair that I'm looking at. And here I'm looking at a short opportunity. So on the monthly, here I'm at basically the top of the previous high and the previous range, where it's been for the last few bars. In terms of weekly, we have had the price action going downwards. It came back up, but did not persist to go further. It had a bit of a pushback high test bar on the weekly. So not, it didn't close lower in terms of being a red bar, but that's okay. Let's have a look here. So this is the daily. On the daily, the last trend line is here. We have gone above. So again, I'm looking at this as to see if this is going to be a false break. If it continues going in the same direction, then no problem. I'm not interested. That's not my trade setup. If the price does indeed come below this area, back into that previous bit of range there, and also in terms of going in the direction of the trend, then I'm looking for some kind of lower high, some reversal there, either a pin bar or whatever setup, maybe inside bars with some false break at the top and then going for short after that. Okay, so looking at short for Euro JPY for the upcoming week or so. So that is all from me. Now we have Orlando. Orlando is going to